Hi. So you're probably either beginning to learn Rust or at least thinking about it. So let me start by saying welcome, and don't worry, it's not nearly as daunting as it might first appear. First of all, Rust is a relatively new but very user-friendly computer language. It was created in 2010, but it's rising in popularity, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why. There's dozens of computer languages out there, but the neat thing about Rust is it has the compiler, which acts like training wheels on a bike or this safety guard on the grinder. And what I mean by that is that when you've written your program and you're ready to put it all together and run it or execute, the compiler works sort of like a spell check and goes through and makes sure your program works. Now, it doesn't automatically change it because it doesn't necessarily know what the intent was, even if the syntax or structure of the command was incorrect. And also, it doesn't help you because then you don't learn, so you can avoid the problem in the future. But what it does do that makes it very much like this safety guard is that it prevents you from using it incorrectly and getting to a point where it'll blow up in your face. Now, not nearly as dangerous, but just as frustrating when it goes wrong. And just like training wheels on a bike, it tells you exactly where you went wrong in writing the logic for your program, and better yet, where to reference to find the answer. So, unlike other computer languages like C or C++, which just compile the program, try to run it, and then it doesn't work, and you have to go through line by line of code and find the problem yourself and fix it, it acts as a safety and a guide, like any good friend should. And one of the main reasons Rust is becoming more and more popular is because it makes your program safer and smaller. That's because when the compiler runs, it makes sure you fixed everything first and only then compiles. This allows for less moving parts that the program needs to call on as it runs, which means it doesn't need to use as much memory to be stored or to run on your computer. And if that's not good enough of a benefit, because it all gets written before it ever is compiled, the structure or architecture of the program is much more solidified, with less areas of functions of code that can be exploited for bugs or hacking. Pretty neat, eh? Now, as far as writing code and starting out, there's tons of tutorials and videos on explaining how to learn this basic syntax of Rust, but my personal preference is doc.rust-lang.org/book. It takes you through step by step on how to understand and write Rust code. If you're still having trouble understanding, check out some YouTube videos and watch how they write and explain it, and just look up any terms you don't understand on your preferred search engine. The more you progress through the Rust language book, and the more terms you look up so as to understand them, the easier it'll get. But again, you'll have the compiler, because as you continue, you'll realize the compiler is a very handy tool. Soon enough, you'll feel comfortable navigating Rust programming and even writing some of your own. And you know, you have your friend, the compiler, there looking out for you just in case. And helping each other out is what friends do. Thanks.